Hello and welcome to IFL Science. I'm Eleanor.
I'm Chris.
And today we're going to be looking at what exactly happens when you crack your knuckles. Oh, I wish you wouldn't.
Cracking your knuckles is right up there with the most divisive things you can do at the dinner table. Some shrug it off, some fall to their knees crying, "Won't somebody please think of the arthritis?" Knuckles and other joints can feel a little less stiff after they've made a spectacle of themselves. So what's going on when we hear that sickening sound? One of the more bizarre study setups in 2015 saw a human participant lay down in an MRI machine with a contraption on their finger that meant scientists could capture the internal machinations of the knuckle crack in real time. It had long been thought that the cracking sound was just the result of a tiny gas bubble collapsing in the synovial fluid that surrounds our joints, but not so, said the MRI study.
The act of cracking your knuckle created a gas cavity where there previously wasn't one.
It's the result of a process called tribonucleation, and it goes a little bit like this. Joint surfaces are where they're supposed to be as the person begins applying force. Joint surfaces resist separation. Critical force is reached, pulling the joint surfaces apart, suddenly forming a vacuum-like space filled with gas.
The source of that crack was also tested in research that used ultrasound technology to study the same thing. Ultrasound can see processes happening within the body up to 100 times faster and detect things up to 10 times smaller than MRI scanners. During the study, they saw a bright flash like a firework exploding in the joint. The team was confident that the knuckle cracking sound and bright flash on ultrasound were associated with changes in pressure with a gas bubble in the joint.
It didn't definitively settle the formation versus collapse debate, but they did say that since the flash only ever came after the crack, this perhaps supports the bubble formation theory, not the bubble popping theory. It was observed that the cavity hung around even after the sound was over, before fading away, with no visible damage to the joint observed.
Cracking knuckles didn't seem to alter the joint spacing in the long term, but it's worth noting that only one participant was used in the research.
That said, previous research found no detectable immediate adverse effects from knuckle cracking. Johns Hopkins also says there's no evidence it's linked to arthritis, which is often the thing that people are most likely to shout at you if you crack your knuckles in public. Of course, everyone is different, and if you're finding that cracking your knuckles is associated with pain or any other negative symptoms, it's worth consulting a physician.
But if you're currently Googling in fear that your knuckle cracking habit has destroyed your hands forever, rest easy. The science indicates your hands will be just fine. Thank you for watching IFL Science. Please subscribe for more science videos.